Hello, my name is Anna Stileski, and today I will be talking about my website. So this is a home page to my website. I have my header up here that leads to my portfolio. So this is all of my coursework, my sample work to be viewed. One thing about this menu is that it goes off the page. Unfortunately, that's not something that I was able to fix due to page layer, but I plan on trying to figure out how to fix that in the future. So I have my layout and design work, and then I have 2 newspaper spreads, and then I have 3 magazines. I have my 3 research articles, and these are actually linked into my blog area as well. So they can be accessed from either of these sections. I have my journalistic articles. These are also in the blog section. And I have my audio and video production. So right now I just have my a mini documentary and a thematic montage. I also have this button that leads to my resume. I have my organizations, so I included the Wayne State University German Club, National German Honor Society, and junior year in Munich, my study abroad program. And then, like I said before, here's my blog, and included in here are my journalistic articles and my research articles combined. So I used this little logo as my branding. I made this logo myself. I also have my communication specialist is my big headline, and I have my name on here. I have connections to my Facebook, my Instagram, and my LinkedIn. So yeah, these will take you, if you just click on them, they'll take you right to my site. So I included my About Me and a picture of myself on my main page, just so that future employers or anyone like that, when they click on it, they just get a whole overview of me. And then I have my logo down here again. And I have my contact info, which in the future I'd like to make that a contact form. But due to my issues with page layer, I was not able to make that in my footer. But I also have the same links that are in my header. And then I have my links to my different social media pages. And then I also want to include in the future in my footer the copyright, just saying that all the work is mine. I don't have any other things in here that I need to copyright. All of this is my own work and my own pictures. But in the future, I would like to put in my footer copywriting my own material. So if you go up here, and for example, if we click on my newspaper, it takes you to a page where you can see this newspaper spread. So unfortunately with my logo up here, it wasn't consistent from page to page. Due to my issues with page layer, I wasn't able to fix this, but this is one of the first things I'm going to fix in the future. But yeah, so I want to change that. And then I also, in the future, will want to try to find a way to change this color here, because obviously this is hard for anyone to see, let alone someone who is colorblind. This would be very difficult for them to see. So then I also included in my organizations, here's an example of this. If I click on here, I have included a little picture slideshow as well as some body text down here. And I also have my resume linked in here with a PDF. So I intend to keep this site. I want to use it as a virtual resume for myself that I can constantly add to. I got some feedback from my site from family members, as well as Professor Thomas, based on how it looks and what feedback or what things I should change based on that feedback. I will also plan on implementing anything in the future if somebody were to contact me about my site or issues they had navigating my site. I would fix that based on the feedback they gave me. So we talked about how to navigate my site, but I also included alt tags on, for example, my magazines. So I thought these magazines, it would be really important to have alt tags on these, so I chose to do alt tags on these rather than on my personal pictures, because I didn't feel like my personal pictures were as important to have these alt tags on. However, I thought it was really important for my magazine spreads because these are uploaded as images. It seemed to work better as images and they loaded faster than if they were PDFs. So I thought this was really important to include what these pictures were because this is showcasing my work that I've done in the past, and I would want a future employer who was vision impaired to be able to know what they're looking at when they look at my sample work. I have friendly links up here. So for example, Sample 1 is what this is called, Magazine Sample 1. That's up here. I don't think you can see it, but it says webhostingforstudents.com/wp/sample-1. So that would help for a screen reader to have that. So in my first page, I'll pull up my feedback from my accessibility page. So if you see here, I had some issues with the colors I used, the contrast colors. These are things I want to try to fix in the future, and I also want to try to make them bigger to help both colorblind and vision impaired people to be able to view my website a little easier. So that was some of the errors. I got a lot of contrast errors. These link ones weren't really that big of a deal because, as you saw, it takes you to the right page. It says it's a broken link, but it does work. And yeah, so some of these were contrast errors too. So that's what I got from my accessibility. And then I also have my readability. So on my readability, if we zoom in, I got, So my test results were that an average grade level about 9 would be able to understand, so 14 and 15-year-olds. This is kind of what I was going for. Obviously, I don't anticipate that 9th graders would be the main audience of my site, but it's good to know that somebody at a 9th grade reading level would be able to understand my site. So if we go back to my site, so let's see. So we shared the readability and the accessibility results, my consistent branding with up here, and I talked about how I wasn't able to change it on the other pages, but I will change that in the future. We talked about copyright, how I'd like to copyright my own information on here, but I don't currently have anyone else's work that I would need a copyright on here, so I don't really need to worry about that. We talked about how I want to keep this site in the future to build as my virtual resume. We talked about how I wanted to implement feedback through a contact form, or also how I have already gotten feedback from Professor Thomas as well as my family. And we talked about my site and the navigation and the usability features of how to navigate my header and my footer and all of that, and how to reach my portfolio, my resume, my organizations, and my blog page. And we can actually look at my blog page very quickly, because that's something we didn't look at yet. So as you can see, I have pictures here. And then if you click on those, you can view the blog posts. Yeah, so that's my site, and I hope you enjoyed this tour of my site, and I hope in the future that I'll be able to contact WordPress and work on the kinks that bother me a bit so that I can improve it for the future. Thank you so much. This course was a great experience, and I learned a lot, and I'm really proud of how my site came along, and I think it'll be extremely useful for me in the future. Thank you.